Your boys are back. It's WrestleMania season. Let's talk about it. Here we go.
Oh my God! I'm embarrassed! He's flying! Welcome in. It's almost time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of In This Very Ring right here on A2D Radio. I am the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. I am the man known as Ritz. And this right here is the mayor of Toasty Town himself. This is Butters. Butters, it's been almost a month since we've been on the air together. How are you?
I'll see my way up now.
Get the fuck back here.
No, I am doing fantastic, sir. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a long couple of weeks, man.
Yes, it has.
Between traveling to Disney and all that other stuff, Universal, the whole lot of it. What an awesome time. Speaking of traveling, we want to thank our sponsors, Allen Z Travel, for sponsoring today's episode. Allen Z Travel specializes in creating a vacation of your dreams at Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls you. Let their talented team of travel agents, including myself, create a custom vacation for you without any of the stress. Allen Z on over to allenz-travel.com/take the trip to get in touch with myself or one of the other talented travel agents and let us start planning your next stress-free vacation today. We do everything from Disney, Universal, cruise lines, all-inclusives, international, you name it. We're here to help, so give us a call. Well, actually, find us on the web. Screw calling us. But with that being said, well, because there's no direct line, right? We all have our own individual lines. There's no direct phone line that gets to me, and I don't do everything. Like, I don't do international, okay? I don't do international travel because I've never traveled internationally.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all Rachel. Right, I'll do more cruises, more Disney, more Universal, because that's stuff I know. And I do the all-inclusives, too. Shut up! The fuck you... Shut up! You don't leave the state! You barely leave the city of Conroe! You barely leave Montgomery County!
Yeah, no, I drive to Houston every day, so yeah, that leaves Montgomery County.
Barely! Barely!
Well, no, see, I leave Montgomery County. I get into whatever the Woodlands is in. I think that's Houston.
Still Montgomery County.
No, it's actually Harris County.
No, this bitch is still Montgomery County.
Yeah, the lines are somewhere.
No, motherfucker.
I know that. I'm just saying.
Anyway, trying to make me look
back
stupid.
to the show. We're getting off topic. We're diving deep in a rabbit hole we can't fit.
That you can't fit.
Bitch, if you looked at it very lately, I don't think you can fit that rabbit hole either.
I can.
What, a left toe?
I may not get out of the rabbit hole, but I can fit in the rabbit hole. So shut the fuck up. We want to thank the sponsor of our topic of conversation today, Specialized Physical Therapy, who I'll probably need after getting stuck in the rabbit hole. Dr. Paul Vidal and his team, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Check him out on the web or his two locations, Burlington, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. He's our doc, make him yours. We're going to spend a lot of time today talking about this. The Bloodline should main event WrestleMania. Agree, disagree. The chat's already popping off tonight. So let's go to some of those before we go to Butters. We've got the Godfather himself, Tom Arnone, chiming in. Boys, he's going to agree to the poll. Make sure you guys check out Tom every single Sunday, every single Wednesday on A2D Wednesday night and A2D. I'm sorry, agree to disagree. I totally butchered that. It's been a week.
Yep, we're getting canceled. I'm out.
Shit down, motherfucker. Look, I've been off the air for a while. I haven't done a show since the last Extravagant Adventures I did the week before I left.
Yeah, because somebody had to magically have their internet get cut out.
Dude, when I tell you it was a problem here.
Don't worry, because the following week, our internet was out.
Well, and what's funny is 4 days prior, Rachel lives on the other side of 45.
Mm-hmm.
Her internet was down.
So 1 week hers, next week yours, the following week mine.
Yeah.
Go figure.
And speaking of, we do want to thank Frank. He filled in for me last week. It was supposed to be the three of us on the air. We were going to do a Revolution preview. Obviously, that didn't happen. It was Frank and Butters. They did phenomenal. I got a chance to sit down and watch a little bit of it, chime in a little bit towards the beginning of the show. They did awesome. So thank you, Frank, once again. I always appreciate you. He also says, book Butters his dream vacation. I'm going to stay away from my comments there. And then Frank says, if the county line does go through the house, who will do the Rene Dupree dance over the line? Neither one of us, because we'll bust a kneecap.
And break through the floor.
Also that. And Doug Raines chiming in. Hello, what's up, Doug? How are you? So, Butters, I have to ask. I came up. So, Butters has been writing our show. For those of you that are new here, Butters has been writing our show for the last few months. And he's been coming up with the topics of conversation. We had a conversation last night about Comic Palooza, oddly enough, which we'll talk about later on in the show, I'm sure. And he said, what do you want to talk about? What's the topic going to be tomorrow? And because we were bouncing around an idea of doing a bracket for March Madness and all these other things. And we said, we haven't been on in a month. Let's just talk wrestling. Let's just talk what's currently happening. And I was thinking, I hadn't watched Smackdown yet. I mean, Smackdown was probably 45 minutes old at that point. Like, it was 7:45. I just gotten home. I hadn't had a chance to sit down and watch anything yet. And so after I watched it and I saw, KO and Sami getting back together, and a conversation, oddly enough, I actually had with Silent Hill, Chris, who you see his comment right there. He says Roman's winning, and he puts up the 1. The conversation was, should the Bloodline main event WrestleMania? And what I mean by that is, because I came up with this, we already know night 2 is going to be Roman and Cody.
Yep.
It's already been established.
Yep.
The rumor circulating, and again, thanks to Silent Hill, he's the one that passed along this rumor, Charlotte and Rhea are going to headline night 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I could not be less interested in the Charlotte Rhea story for it to cap off night 1. So I think the Bloodline being, and what I mean by that is the Usos versus KO and Sami, that should cap off night 1. You have the Usos win. Hear me out. I'm going somewhere with this. Because I've been and this is selfish, because I've been wanting the next evolution in this story for so long. And I mean the Bloodline story. We've gotten it with the KO Sami stuff. Well, the Sami stuff specifically, right? Over the last few months, we've gotten that evolution. But I want to take all the characters to another level. I want to change up the dynamic. I want to adjust everything. And so I want the Usos to retain the titles. And then the very next night, I want Roman to lose. I love the Bloodline more, I think, when there's a power struggle. Because we know eventually it's going to come to...
Well, here's the thing, though. If Sami and KO, with the rumors being what they are, do take on the Usos for the tag titles, which straps are they going for? Because Adam Pearce has already shown that those straps are separate.
Correct. So I don't know yet.
So are they going to set it up for both straps on the line, or are they going to set it up for, because if they set it up for only one set of straps on the line, then that power struggle can still go on, because they've still got their...
They could still lose.
They can still lose one set of straps. They've still got the other set. Roman can still lose night 2, and then you still have your power struggle because, we lost, but we only lost 1.
You lost both.
You lost both.
I don't hate that. And it would kind of give Sami and KO that next part of the story to go on and do something else.
Mm-hmm.
Because eventually it's going to be Jay versus Roman at SummerSlam. I think that's the next
I can see it.
part to this.
Because really and truly, because I don't see Backlash.
I don't see Jimmy being a standout star.
I see Backlash setting up the next big feud with Roman. So it'd be Roman and, Jay. But I think Backlash would be more of a 6-man.
Maybe.
I can see Backlash being Cody, KO, and Sami versus the Bloodline. And that's where the dissension truly starts. Because
that's a stacked 6-man.
Exactly, because now it's technically a WrestleMania rematch between the 6.
And everybody's got titles but Roman.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And
but there's another variable before.
But then you had them lose. You had the Bloodline lose. And now that's where...
You have another variable, and we're going to get to him in just a minute. But Doug here says, I think Dominic will do something to Conan at the Hall of Fame, and then Rey will break loose on Dominic at WrestleMania. Has it been confirmed, and I've been a little bit out of the loop because I was traveling and everything, is Conan inducting Rey?
It hasn't been fully confirmed. It's been a mixed match of yes and no.
Okay. All right.
At least last I've heard, it's been a mixed match of yes and no. Meltzer's been back and forth with his...
Fuck Meltzer. Pete Evans says, evening fam. Silent Hill goes on to say, you open with Charlotte and Rhea or the IC triple threat and close with the Usos versus Sami and KO. I don't hate that idea either. Pete Evans jumps over to Facebook to agree with the poll.
No, I see the triple threat IC title being one of the main events for night 1 or 2. No way in hell that opens up.
Doug says, no, we'll when we talk about the card and everything, we'll break down some of it. Doug says, since Bray's not going to be at WrestleMania, who do you think will wrestle Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania? I say Solo or LA Knight. I don't know.
So here's with that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you have Bobby wrestle LA Knight, nobody comes out looking good in that match. Because really and truly, Bobby looks good right now. LA's starting to look good right now. And he's, he might have a little bit of a push going behind him. Those two going at it just wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, Bray not being at WrestleMania does kind of throw a curveball on some things.
And then Solo and Bobby, it just doesn't make sense storyline-wise.
No, they haven't. I don't think we'll see Bobby face anybody at WrestleMania.
I don't see Solo wrestling at WrestleMania. I see Solo coming out with Roman as an enforcer.
Yeah, and that's the variable that we're going to talk about. We're going to get through some of these comments though, because I don't want anything to get lost by the wayside. Pete says Jay versus Roman doesn't need to be for the strap. We said that about Rock and Roman too, but there's a part of me that thinks it will be for the strap.
Well, see, another thing is somebody can...
Well, wait, no, hold on. If Roman loses to Cody, then yeah, it's not going to be for the strap.
But some people are thinking, what happens if Triple H calls the audible since Roman wins? Because by the time they get to Saudi Arabia here in a few months, after WrestleMania, I think Roman hits 1,000 days in Saudi if he keeps those straps.
I don't think they do that. I don't think you build the Cody Rhodes storyline.
Well, then Cody falls from grace. He's got to build himself back up because you fell the first time, but now you want to build yourself even harder.
Fuck it, I'll go out on a limb. I don't give a fuck saying this. Pete, before I say it, because this is gonna start, I'm gonna get yelled at for this.
I don't know what you're going with.
Pete says the Bloodline storylines are bigger than the titles. And Doug, I'm gonna get to your comment in just a second. I'm gonna say this. This is gonna piss some people off. We have talked about Roman as the head of the table. We've talked about Roman as the tribal chief. God damn it, I could see them doing it because it's Saudi Arabia. But son of a bitch, if Roman doesn't win the King of the Ring.
I think Solo will win King of the Ring more than anyone.
No, hear me out. It's dumb. It's really stupid. I do like to take kind of the weird. We like to take kind of the weirder ideas and talk them through. Even if they are really fucking dumb, and this one might be really fucking dumb.
It won't be Royal Rumble dumb.
No, but it might be really stupid.
That one right now is sitting on a pedestal all of its fucking
in its own fucking category. But you could do this a couple different ways. One, Roman has no titles, no belts. He goes to Saudi Arabia, he wins the King of the Ring, and he tries to make the King of the Ring seem bigger than the titles. Mm-hmm. Right? He's trying to build that up. So he walks back to the Usos and go, you may have the tag team titles, but I am the King of the Ring. It's a dumb promo.
But it goes with
it goes to the power struggle.
Well, then it goes to his old shtick of this is my yard.
Right. He has solidified himself. He doesn't need the title to solidify himself as the tribal chief, the big dog, right? The head of the table.
Oh.
You could also do this and have somebody like Tamina or Naomi to come back.
Or have Nia come back.
Huh?
Or have Nia come back.
Or have Nia, who, where the fuck have you been since the Royal Rumble?
I don't think she signed. I think she just came back for the Rumble.
Okay.
I think she more or less came back because Triple H probably asked her nicely like Vince would have.
Right. And all right, but you have somebody, a female from the Samoan dynasty, win the Queen of the Ring and join the Bloodline that same night.
Now hear me out.
Because that's the only part of.
What about?
Hold on. Let me finish. It's the only division that they don't have somebody in. And if the next words out of your mouth are The Rock's daughter.
I know she's green, but.
Greener than goose shit.
Who better to put her with?
I don't know if you could justify to me, though, her winning that tournament. I don't. When I think of who could potentially be in that tournament,
I know.
No. Like that. It's not a dumb idea because it makes sense. But that's just as dumb as the Royal Rumble, everybody falling out of the ring. Like, that's what would have to happen.
But no.
People would have to die.
But no. Because here's my thing. Because now she's part of that bloodline. She's part of that faction. When something happens to her, now Daddy's about to get involved. Because,
no.
I mean.
No, I don't see that. I don't see that yet. I don't think they're gonna do that.
I don't either. But it's just an idea that gets tossed in.
I don't fully hate it. I just people would have to die. Doug says the match between Roman and Cody will be epic, just like the match between Hogan and Rock at Mania 18. Fans will be yelling their head off. Absolutely. We're going to be live reacting to it both nights. We're going to have an awesome setup. Doug goes on to say, what if Cody comes back at WrestleMania, Randy Orton comes back at WrestleMania and makes Cody lose to Roman because Cody was under Randy's legacy? No, absolutely not. Silent Hill says, Cody can still finish the story at any other time. Roman needs to keep the titles a little longer. You have to do Roman versus Jay for the title because that's how it started. And you still have to revisit Roman versus Seth.
You can revisit all those without the title.
I don't think you need to revisit Roman versus Seth. I think we've Roman versus Seth is Cena versus Orton in 2000. In like the 2010s.
Agreed.
Right? It'll never be done, but it'll always be good.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So
no, I agree. That's actually probably the best feud to actually put it up with would be, Cena Orton, Rock Stone Cold. I mean, that's this era's like main feud.
I would like to see Cody win. And I'm going to put it up just because it'll make me laugh here in a second. Fuck it. Doug says, do you ever see WWE doing a match between Logan Paul and Brock Lesnar? Man alive.
I mean, I hate to say yes, but yes, because the money?
No, here's why. Because Brock will kill him.
Oh, I know.
And, like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not even like Brock's going to throw him around like a Raggedy Ann doll at a Black Friday sale in 1982. No, I'm talking like Brock will it unintentionally kill this twig. I think Logan Paul is great in the ring. I have a weird newfound respect for him in the ring. I still think he's a pompous dickhead when he opens his mouth, but he does really good in the ring. But fuck me if I ever see Logan Paul versus Brock Lesnar. There is a small part of me that says I will go to that show. There's a very small part of me that says I will buy a ticket.
Fly the fuck out.
I will fly the fuck out wherever it's at that morning, that Saturday morning, because it'll be a Saturday show.
Oh yeah.
I will fly out.
Saturday shows.
I will fly out. I will watch the event, and I will get on the latest flight possible home, laughing my ass off because WWE took a YouTuber and put them in the ring with Brock Lesnar. I can't say that without smiling a little bit and wanting to start laughing hysterically. So Doug goes on to say, I might be wrong, but WWE's been pushing Cody a lot with all the videos. I think Cody will win. I agree with you. Absolutely. And what's up, Dynasty? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. He says it's all full circle because didn't the Rhodes and the initial long Shield tag title runs as well? I agree. And Dynasty says, unfortunately, I think Brock is chasing that Jones fight again. Huh?
UFC.
Fuck him. So, I agree with the poll. To come back full circle, right, and then to move on to some of our other topics for the
really
evening.
And truly, if you want to go full circle, Cody would have to lose, and Jay would have to beat Roman for those titles. That would be Roman's first pin in years.
Yeah.
Because Jay was the first one to give Roman his first pin.
Yeah. That's how it all started.
I mean, that's how you go full circle. But, again, Cody's winning. Leave the shit out of it.
And you know what? I think some of us might be wearing crow, though. Or you might be eating crow come WrestleMania because Cody might not win.
And understandable.
There's an argument there, and I respect the argument, especially like the one Silent Hill's making, for Cody to not win.
Yep.
I think the time is right. I'm also fucking sick and tired of seeing Roman with the titles.
Big Man got titles.
Like, don't get me wrong. The visual of them having the titles is awesome. I think it's an awesome visual, right? But I want us to do something different. I want there to be somebody different to talk about.
I think this is the first faction in a long time that has had almost a full set of titles for as long as they had. Most of them lose it pretty
The fact
quickly.
that Solo doesn't have the IC or the United States title is just a crying shame.
Well, it was a crying shame when they took the North American title off because they could have left it over there for a while.
Yep.
He could have went back and forth defending it.
You absolutely could have.
Because it would have made even more sense had he lost, if he'd lost it at Stand and Deliver at WrestleMania weekend.
Here's a great question.
Uh-oh.
Do you think Dustin Rhodes will be in the back at WrestleMania for Cody?
100%.
No.
Why?
I don't think he'll be in the back. There is a small part of me
Oh, you think he's going to be...
that says he's going to be at ringside. They're not going to put a camera on him. They're not going to do anything like that, but they're not going to let him in the back because he is a producer over there.
I mean, technically...
Here's what they're going to do. If Cody wins, go hug your brother. Then they're going to put Dustin on TV.
Because technically, he could just buy the ticket on his own.
Yep.
Or they could have magically just said, here's a ticket, do whatever the fuck you want with it.
Exactly. And it's not going to be on that hard camera side. It'll be like behind Michael Cole or something. And he'll be there all night long.
I mean, I can see it.
He says interesting. I don't hate that. It's a good question, Doug. Keep those coming. I like Doug. Doug's got some good questions. All right. So
To the poll, yes, I do agree. Bloodline should be main event WrestleMania night 1 and night 2, because really and truly, you should have the final match be the Bloodline on both nights. Bloodline should lose both nights. Do the women deserve the main event spot? Yes, by
no,
100%. No. I'm talking. It could be any woman in general.
No, let's back up. No, I disagree to that statement. I don't look at do the women deserve the main event because it's the women's title. Not if you're boring me.
I'm not saying the women's title match. I'm saying the women in general.
No, not if you're boring me. If you're the Charlotte Rhea, because here's the.
It had to be Charlotte Rhea.
But here's the bitch, man. I'm going somewhere with this. Stop interrupting. Charlotte Rhea is supposed to be a main event because that's the condition of the Rumble. You main event WrestleMania. Fine. That's fine. Don't you dare be the last thing I watch because you're boring the fuck out of me right now. I am so uninterested. And it's not Charlotte's fault. It's really not even Rhea's fault either. They have no reason to hate each other other than I want your title. I don't want you to have my title. You can't do much with that.
And another thing I can't justify.
And when Rhea is so transfixated on all the Rey Mysterio stuff that's going on, right? Like Finn Balor and Damian Priest have taken a back seat.
No, see, and that's my thing. You got her going after the SmackDown Women's title while you have Judgment Day over here on Raw. Are you really going to break this group up? Or are you going to have her win that title and send them over to SmackDown in the draft? That's possibly.
We're getting.
I'm just saying in general. Why are you having her go after something on SmackDown when they're on Raw? Why not go after Bianca and then have somebody else for Charlotte?
Because there's backstory, right? She has a better history with Charlotte than she does with Bianca. Okay, plus Bianca's already too engrossed in the Bailey, Asuka, like all that was still going. It wouldn't have made sense at the time. Okay, but hold on. You're thinking way too far.
I know.
Ahead.
But I'm just saying in general, you could have had Asuka go after Charlotte. Because there's plenty of history in that right there.
You're right.
For WrestleMania. And then you could have had Rhea go after Bianca to see which one's the better.
But they already started planting the seeds for Bianca, Asuka. But if you really think about it, before Royal Rumble, right? They already started building that. It was subtle, but they already did. And I see John and Dynasty and Doug. I see your comments. Let's get through this bit, and then I'm gonna hit all three of those comments. Okay. But the Charlotte Rhea story is literally, you have a title and I want it. I have a title, I'm not going to give it to you. That only does so much for me. We built no depth because Rhea's been too busy doing the Rey Mysterio stuff, which is fine because that's entertaining. That I'm entertained with.
Dominic's actually getting up there.
Right? Like the Dominic Rhea, like I love it all. It's a little campy sometimes. A little weird sometimes. But I love it. I've loved it from day one.
It's a little China Eddie going on.
Right, but I think that's why I love it, because of the callbacks that it's making as they run through Rey's kind of career. I don't think that should headline night 1 or night 2. Bianca Asuka is borderline boring me. I think the match is I think both matches will be great. Because all 4 women are talented in ring. Asuka's come back as this ass kicker. What the fuck? What are you doing? I didn't realize it was on. God, have you been on all day? That sucks. Fuck my power bill. I thought I turned you off this morning.
I'm not even going there.
No, me neither. But all four are talented in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna be great matches across the board.
Yeah.
And I'll even go as far, because you say any women. The 6-women tag match.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the newly crowned tag team champions. And Trish.
Yum.
Fantastic. Against Damage Control.
Yummy.
I love Trish and Lita. I got to meet him a few years ago at Comic Palooza.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite Comic-Con photo ever. But I'm sorry, Lita was the wrong choice for Becky's partner. It should have been Trish. Lita does not move as smoothly as she used to.
I know.
That being said,
I think they're just setting up for Trish to turn on Becky.
that being said,
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate this match. I think it's going to be a great match. Damage Control is great. What they're doing is great. I think they got the short end of the stick losing the titles, but okay, fine. But that still shouldn't touch the main event. That shouldn't smell the main event. Because while it's entertaining, the promos are great, that's not a main event caliber match.
The only women's match that should not even come close to sniffing the main event would be the Fatal 4-Way Showcase. Tag team. They announced last night. The first team right now is Liv and
Raquel.
Raquel.
If that comes anywhere near them, if either one of them comes anywhere near the main event, don't watch the show. Actually, better yet, turn on our show and watch me get pissed off. Okay? So,
We'll get the hot meter to see how hot this motherfucker gets.
right? I have no problem. And my comment, because I kind of glanced at Dynasty's most recent comment. I have no problem if a men's match bores me saying the same fucking thing. It shouldn't be near the main event. Right? If Cody Roman was not Cody Roman, I don't want it near the main event. If Cody doesn't come out and cut that promo about finishing the story, I don't want it near the main event. If Cody had been in the WWE and not left, I'm less invested.
Nope.
Right? And I'm not really all that invested in Roman because Roman, as an individual, is borderline starting to bore me. So, I'm going to go in a little bit of reverse because... No, here we go. Dynasty says, that's the thing, Andy. It's Ritz, damn it. It's the opposite of the Attitude Era. Back then, the stories were great, but the in-ring was okay. Now the stories are okay, but the in-ring is next level. It's a back and forth. Okay? And it should be a small balance. Doug says, I agree with you on Lita. She moves slow in the ring. This was Dynasty's comment earlier. Okay, think Cena beats Theory only to lose to a returning AJ debuting Braun Breaker the night after Mania. Don't hate that.
No, because you got the open challenge.
Right. John says, what's up, you handsome sons of a gun? What would you think if someone like Bronson Reed joined Judgment Day, adding a little more muscle to that faction while giving Reed something to do? I think the faction has grown stale. Other than Dom and Rhea.
Oh, and you got them fighting Edge over and over
Exactly. Again. So once we get away from Edge, I would like to revisit this conversation.
Yep.
Because I'd also want to see kind of what the landscape of the WWE looks like post WrestleMania. So I don't hate this, but I want to come back to it another night. Doug says, I like LA Knight, but I think he's lacking something, but I think when he finds it, he'll go far. Maybe WWE needs to let LA be himself like they did with Stone Cold. No, because I like LA Knight, but he's kind of trash in the ring. I've been saying that ever since he was Eli Drake. All right, so Dynasty says, hear me out. What if Rhea Charlotte main events because the tag title's going right before Roman Cody to wipe out the Bloodline in the main event because they literally just worked? I don't hate that idea. It's not the worst idea we've ever said.
But at the same time, it's WWE, and it wouldn't make sense because they've done shit like that before. And I might have lost my titles. I might have got my ass beat right before this main event, but I'm still going to come out and support, my leader of my faction.
Yeah.
They've done it before. I'm just saying it's a great idea on paper, which would be why we see Charlotte Rhea.
It wouldn't be bad.
No.
Doug says, do you think Roman will go against Paul or Paul will go against Roman? We can't revisit this. Paul Heyman solidified his loyalty to Roman against Brock Lesnar. Yeah. I don't think you can revisit this right now. It wouldn't fit. And then the Paul Heyman stuff with Sami, you can't continuously have Paul's loyalty being questioned per se, or Paul being the pot stirrer.
No, because you have Brock Big Show all over again with Paul.
Yeah.
Paul turning on Brock for Big Show, Paul turning on Big Show for Brock. I mean, you get what you get. Just Paul's not going to be a factor.
No.
It's Paulie Heyman. He ain't going to be a factor in anything.
Absolutely.
He just go stand there looking all shocked and all.
And Dynasty says, I like Cross over Reed in Judgment Day. It's talking about Nikki Cross?
No, I think Karrion Cross.
Okay, well, because selfishly, he wrote Cross with a C and isn't Karrion with a K. Mm-hmm. So that's what. Well, I know it's nitpicking, Dynasty, and I'm really sorry.
I think,
but it's it's the only way in my head.
And I think the only way I see it is Cross is because he's saying Cross over Reed, meaning Karrion Cross over Reed instead of Nikki Cross over Reed.
Right. I don't want to assume.
No, I get you.
But in my head, because that's how I differentiate.
But I also think Karrion Cross would be a better fit in Judgment Day than what he's doing now.
Absolutely, I think. Well, and his character fits it. I think Karrion Cross over Bronson Reed is a better pick. I think Bronson Reed, they're still trying to figure out what they're going to do with him. But they're not doing anything wrong with him either.
Bronson is just getting started. That's the thing. Bronson isn't doing much right now because he just come back.
I think he's
just getting started.
He'll get lost in the Judgment Day because you're running the risk right now because all you've done with Judgment Day is have them literally, if you think about it, Rey Mysterio and Edge. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm. Right? So you run the risk of it getting stale.
Yep.
And him getting stale.
He says you're right, Karrion Cross, but Nikki works too.
So I don't. Doug says, do you think NXT stars will make their main roster appearances at WrestleMania? No. I think. Well, let me rephrase that. Let's back up for a second. Ask me after Stand and Deliver. Which, if I get my day off, fuck it. It's a lot. It'd be, goddamn it, it would be so much work on our end. Maybe we do live reactions to Stand and Deliver.
Stand and Mania, huh?
In the same day. Woo! Maybe we'll live react to it, but ask me after Stand and Deliver. Because I need to see what the landscape looks like. I need to see who still holds titles. I need to see who lost, who won. Because that, as it has in years past, the NXT show WrestleMania weekend has really told a story about who we're going to see get called up over the next few weeks or even months.
Yep. 100%.
Don, you motherfucker.
Donnie D, what's up?
What's going on, buddy? Donnie D?
Just throwing something out there.
Look, I'm going to give you a lot of credit. I think back to when you and I started doing this show. Because I got on the conversation of you being on this show recently. And I think back to those first couple shows, and by God, was it like pulling teeth to get you to talk loud, to get you to like disagree with me or be animated. Because I knew you from the comic book store.
Si, senor.
And then the light would go on the camera, and you'd go,
Ready to go, George. Ready to go.
right? Don goes, Donnie D. Sure.
I couldn't help myself, Don.
I don't fucking know anymore. But so I'll give you credit. You're. Although I will say the best Butters moment has to have been when we did those. Those show cards.
The mock pay-per-view.
The mock pay-per-view. And you had
Country Crock and
the Country Crock and pay-per-view. That whole, I need to go back. We need that whole fucking segment. I need that whole segment. I don't think I've laughed harder. It's only one other time with you I've laughed harder. And this was during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
We just started using this program. We just started doing them remotely from our houses. And the week prior, I had pretended to hit myself with my keyboard. So the very next week, you pretend to hit yourself. We're like 5 seconds into the show. You pretend to hit yourself with the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
But you actually hit yourself with the fucking keyboard.
I overshot.
And I was in the middle of the read, and you hit yourself. And this is back when Ralphie produced us. And so Ralphie came in and was like, got my clip. Thanks. See you guys. And yes, the Women's Rumble. The Women's Royal Rumble. But that's because of you bastards. You bastards in the chat. You, Don, Womack, who the hell else? Prism was there that night. You bastards made that. But it was like, now I look forward to every year the Rumble because of the chat.
Yep.
Doug says, I see Breakker losing at Stand and Deliver, coming to the main roster to take the U.S. title from Theory because Breakker, Dad, and Uncle were both U.S. champions. I don't hate that.
No, not at all.
If Ritz and Butters had to pick a dream tag team to fight at WrestleMania, who would it be? Old school or new school?
Team 3D, the Dudley Boys. I can even go as far as saying the Road Warriors.
I almost want to say Heart Foundation. Brett and Jim.
We get a heart attack, huh?
I mean, I'm cruising for one. I'm about a cheeseburger away some days.
One Skittle from the skateboard.
No kidding. But, like, the Road Warriors is a great answer. 3D is a great answer. Heart Attack's a great answer.
The New Day.
Ooh.
The Usos.
Well, no, this would be for us to fight, you schmuck.
I know. Doing old. I'm just throwing some names out there.
APA.
Oh.
But the condition is you're taking the clothesline.
Who said that?
Me. Don says, "Oh yeah, I remember Sailor Moon." And Doug says, "If Ron Simmons was still wrestling, I think Ron and Bobby would be a good team. Doom 2.0." So, all right. The MJF Bar Mitzvah, because if you haven't figured it out yet, we're in the This Week in Wrestling segment of the show.
Let's take it back to the beginning of the week. Middle of the week. Fuck it.
I didn't get a chance to watch this in its full entirety, but I
watched the Darby Allin clip.
I love the fact that they finished this with Darby, Sami, Jungle Boy, and MJF. They're doing the Pillars storyline. Mm-hmm. I couldn't be fucking happier about this. I think the Bar Mitzvah was a schmaz, whatever, L'chaim, right? Mazel tov.
I mean, looking at the pictures from his old Bar Mitzvah, that man.
Yeah. That man did it right for 13. But then again, Jews party well. We party well.
I get that, but
some of my friends are still recovering from mine. And mine was like 3 weeks before the pandemic.
Even still, that man had a hell of a Bar Mitzvah. We know he was a man that night.
Hey-o!
But yes, no, it was a great segment. And then Darby taking a shot at all the...
Hi, Bo. Hi,
Bo. And Darby taking a shot at all the crybabies in the back was great.
Yeah. Well, it was a work shoot, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. It was very, like, I love Jungle Boy's comment about, have you ever wrestled on Dark? Have you ever wrestled on Elevation? Have you even been on Rampage? Like, that was great. Doug says he's a big MJF fan. I might get some boost. No, not at all.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
MJF is doing fantastic work right now.
I will say I was not a big fan initially of him being a dick at like the Comic-Cons and stuff. Because nobody was doing it. Nobody was keeping that kayfabe. Like you would go and like we've done Comic-Cons stuff. You go and you meet people and they're just.
Look at Britt. She was a heel at the time we met her.
And the only thing she said that was kind of heelish, and it's still funny to this day. We had that meeting with Christian Cage, and that was weird because there was nobody. Like we had never done tableside photos. We'd always done the ones where you go in, they say, "All right, stand there, take the picture, get the fuck out." With Christians, it was all right. His handler's going to take the picture of us. But there's no direction on where to stand, where we're going to take the picture, how we're going to take the picture. So it was kind of awkward. I ended up just saying, how about you just stand in the middle? Screw it, right? So we walk over to Britt's table. And we're thinking this is going to be the same clusterfuck, right? But we're looking at the title up close and all that. And she goes, all right, how you guys want to take this picture? And me being me, I don't care, right? It's first words out of my mouth. I don't care. She goes, well, I'm an attention whore, so I need to be in the middle.
Oh, that was fantastic.
All right. Awesome. Cool. You're in the middle. And it's one of my favorite photos that we have.
Yeah.
But seeing MJF at these cons just being an asshole and to kids, I was like, eh. And then he started being featured a little bit more, and I started kind of learning a little bit more about him. And now I fucking love it. Now when he looks at a kid and goes, fuck you, I pop. I'm happy.
Or, you know, like
because fuck them kids.
Or like Revolution with the glass of liquid in the face.
So, did we ever figure out, because I saw...
So, it had to have been something serious because they were quick to get that kid any and everything and to be able to beat Hobbs. So, supposedly they're thinking it was alcohol in the cup.
So I didn't get a chance.
It was a work, or MJF just did it on the fly. It was one of those.
Yeah, he was just keeping up the heel character. So, full disclosure, I fully planned to watch Revolution while I was in Orlando.
Mhm.
We did, because they were showing it at one of the theaters on City Walk. We did so much walking around, and we ate dinner like an hour before the show. And apparently out there, it's a big fucking deal because that theater was almost packed. When I went to go buy tickets on it, and I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to go back to the room. We got an early day tomorrow. So I ended up not watching Revolution, but I did stay up because I was tired. And I actively tracked the main event and watched every clip I could find.
Yeah.
In real time.
Mhm.
Because I was very intrigued in that.
But I think, hopefully, I'm kind of with this whole 4 pillars thing, hoping to see really a fatal 4-way. I mean, I feel like they're going to break it up and do 4 matches or 3 matches.
Which is fine because then it finally means, like, Sammy Guevara has had his time in the main spotlight with the TNT title and the Jericho Appreciation Society and the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle. Pretty much anything fucking Jericho has done since AEW was founded.
Yep.
Darby Allin has had Sting and his time as a TNT champion and all the stuff he's done since. Jungle Boy was the tag champions for a little bit, but he's always just kind of been here. He had that great match with Kenny Omega, but it led to nothing after that. So I'm okay if these are individual matches. I'm okay if this is a fatal 4-way because now we're taking true AEW talent. This isn't somebody that was a WWE guy or a TNA guy or a Ring of Honor guy even, right? These are people that grew up in the indies.
Yep.
And, now they're, boom, here, making a name for themselves. And they have the potential to do really, really well, so I'm excited for that.
Yes, sir. It's gonna be great. Because it's gonna come on late.
That's true.
It's AEW. We're gonna have 20 matches on a pay-per-view.
Woo! It's the only, and that was the other thing. That was the other reason why I didn't go. So we're on the East Coast. That motherfucker didn't start till 8.
It'd been like 12:01.
I didn't go to bed till 12:30.
Yep, that's what I thought. 12:01 o'clock.
I was up at 6. Had I had actually gone out for it, and I don't know because City Walk closes and transportation stops at a certain point. So I don't even think I would have been able to get back without Ubering. So I was, and the way Universal is set up, you've never been?
Nope.
Okay. So at Disney, you take from your resort, you take a bus, it drops you off at the park, you walk into the park. Awesome. At Universal, you take the bus from your resort to the parking garage of City Walk. Well, outside of City Walk. So it's parking garage, City Walk, Universal, Islands of Adventure. And you have to go through security at the parking garage, walk half a mile, get into City Walk, walk another half a mile to get to the parks. Now, granted, the theater is right at the edge of City Walk, right before the parking garage. Still a long fucking walk at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So, no. Doug says, with the Outcast, do you think AEW is going to try something like the NWO, but AEW is using the ladies? I have a thought there, but let's finish this MJF pillar talk. I'm going to leave this on the screen so I don't forget it.
Si, senor.
So, hold on, let me respond to this because this is one of those messages that will keep coming through if I don't. Hang on the air, and this deserves my full attention.
It's not allowed, sir. There is no such thing as attention around here.
People forget, I apparently forget that I do a show on Saturday nights. and want to blow my phone up.
Oh, man.
And my phone's been quiet all day long.
And they want to do it in the middle of the show.
And the second I say, welcome in this very ring, oh, let's text him.
Oh, because they get the notifications. Oh, he's on the air. Cool. Speed run.
No comment. But I digress. So I really like the Pillars thing. I really like what they're doing with MJF. I think it's good that we're getting away from the same people, the WWE guys and everything like that. Now, to Doug's comment with the Outcasts, it hit me the other day when they posted a picture of the three of them, what looked like kind of a backstage area, but it was like a black and white photo. Did you see this photo?
I don't think I have.
It hit me. Because it didn't hit me the night of Revolution when Ruby turns on Jamie and Britt. It hit
one.
Yeah, it was the third woman. It didn't hit me that night. It hit me later on. They're all WWE. Tony, Paige, Ruby are all the most recent WWE acquisitions.
Yep.
And I swear to God, if we do a ladies NWO in AEW, it will solidify everything I have said about that black sweatshirt wearing doofus.
Well, I mean, you look at the ending. Everybody felt that ending for Dynamite this week was WCW-esque, was Nitro-esque.
How did it end?
You had the Blackpool Combat Club coming out since they're heels now.
Which, what the fuck?
You have Paige in the ring, Blackpool Combat Club fixing to come into the ring. All of a sudden, and Paige hasn't looked back the entire time. They're backing off because who's behind Paige? The Elite. They're coming to Paige's aid. Paige doesn't know shit. Let's cut to end of the show.
I haven't done this in a while.
So we got WCW-esque, Nitro-esque endings going
This
on.
black sweatshirt wearing motherfucker, Tony Khan.
Oh, hold on. Let me just adjust the mic for you.
Oh, thank you. This motherfucker should not be allowed anywhere near the booking meeting for a fucking Butterfinger commercial, let alone goddamn professional wrestling. Because this douchebag fanboy is just doing fan service to himself. Like, you watch this and he's literally sitting there. He's got the rise and fall of WCW on a fucking Kindle. And he's going, oh, Eric did this. Okay, let's do that. And he's watching. It's just, wow. That's all he's doing. Literally, that's all he's doing. Every single fucking week.
He's making sure he doesn't do the bad parts.
No, even that. He's like, finger poke of doom. Yeah, that'll get my rocks off. Let's do that. He's sitting there with like the WCW playbook going, all right, outsiders, outcasts, former WWE people. Hey, we just signed 3 bitches, right? I mean, fuck me. Like, we're one step away from saying, hey, Vince Russo, do I have a job for you? I mean, son of a bitch.
I think we need to find him. Paige just got fined for calling everybody twats and calling these girls bitches.
I'm not, Tony is. Shit. I can't get over the fact of when you do a program and you have a company like AEW, and it makes me so mad I can't think straight. and you literally try to do things that they did 30 years ago, it boils my blood because it's just fan service. That's all this is. But it's fan service to one guy because the motherfuckers in the ring don't have a clue what WCW was.
I know.
Right? Like they don't have a godforsaken clue. And you're trying to, like, it worked for a little bit. I'll give you that. Right?
Correct.
And I said, and here's the best part. This is what makes me so happy. This in my core is what makes me so happy. When AEW came on the scene and they brought this needing a haircut motherfucker with them, and they said he's going to be backstage running things, I said it from day motherfucking one. This was WCW 2.0. This wasn't going to fucking work. They're going to fall flat on their face. They're going to do dumb shit after dumb shit after dumb shit. And when this man right here tells me what happened on that show right there, dumb shit after dumb shit after dumb shit.
All they needed to end the show
was Sting coming for the fucking rafters.
No, Tony Schiavone saying we're out of time.
God damn it.
That'd have been the perfect ending. And here's the even crazier part, because that's even what you haven't even said either. They have Sting and Tony fucking Schiavone on commentary. Not Sting on commentary, but they have Sting in AEW. Now we also, we started with Tony Schiavone on commentary.
Schiavone,
I don't give a fuck.
I do. I like Schiavone.
But still, it's still WCW.
No, when Sting debuted, I was waiting for it. When he came out and with the snow and stuff, it was weird, but it was cool, awesome, cool. Sting's in AEW. I almost said it myself, WCW. Sting's in AEW. All right, cool. And then they started pairing it with Darby Allin, and I went, oh, fuck.
It made sense, though.
No, not in a bad way. I said, oh, fuck. Sting's going to start repelling from the fucking rafters of Daly's place that doesn't have fucking rafters, and he's going to bring this asshole on a skateboard with him. Oh, fuck.
But you got it's Sting. WCW again.
But that's all Wednesday night sounded like it was missing. Was here, but yet not Sting. Because nobody was, none of them were WCW people out there. They're all the AEW roster. But you still need to have some asshole come from the rafters.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan.
No. Just to confuse the fuck out of everybody, Malachi Black. Why the fuck not? Fuck, have the whole House of Black just whee!
I mean, they've been coming out of nowhere here lately.
And Julia Hart rides in on a fucking pigeon.
Pigeon.
By the way, don't ever take that hat off.
Why?
That's bad.
Yeah, I know. It's a mop top. What do you expect?
That's bad.
But a pigeon, you couldn't come with, a horse, a black cat.
No!
A pigeon?
Because if I would have said anything other than something stupid, people would want it.
People are dumb enough that they want a fucking pigeon right now.
If I said, and I can't, the Thespials from Harry Potter, those black horses with the wings that you only see them if you've seen death before.
The Thestrals.
If I would have said that, there'd be some asshole in our comment section right now wanting that to happen.
Again, they'll even want a fucking pigeon because she said Julia Hart riding a pigeon. So now Tony's gonna come up with some fucking giant ass pigeon device for her to fucking ride out into the sunset.
And if he does that, you know what the first words out of my mouth are gonna be?
What?
Where the fuck did you get the money to pay for a giant pigeon, but you can't pay X, Y, and Z?
The fines he's been handing out lately.
Good night, everybody.
Sit your ass down.
Fuck.
Because you know I'm right.
No, I know. That's what pisses me off. You know what's funny? I think this might be Doug's first show, like first time watching our show. This is normal. This isn't like anytime somebody brings up Tony Khan, it like let me put it to you this way, Doug. When I saw that Tony Khan got a game ball from a Jacksonville Jaguars game, I immediately wanted to see them lose the next week. Nothing against the Jags. I have nothing against the Jags as a team. Great team. Awesome. But the second I read that they gave Tony Khan a game ball, nope, I want to see you lose. And I want to see you get your ass kicked. Handedly. Because you gave that asshole a ball.
Doug says it is his first.
Dude, I hope you come every week. I hope you come here every single week.
We appreciate it, Doug. We appreciate you, sir.
Doug says, I know the cage is used as the last resort, but AEW doesn't use the cage match. Why? Please take this one. Please take this one.
You can put a pigeon in it.
Not even that. Not even that. Because, see, if you take a look at every cage match they've ever done, it's a fucking mess.
And they only use it to blow off feuds, kind of like Hell in a Cell, too.
Or what was the one where Jericho or somebody fell from the top of the cage?
Oh, you're talking about their Hell in a Cell style cage.
Yeah, of course I fucking am.
I think he was talking about a regular cage
No,
match.
fuck that. I'm not. I'm talking about the bullshit.
I don't remember the name of the match, but I know you're talking about. You mean where he fell into the phone going, oh, I killed myself, even though I'm fucking alive. I killed myself, mama. Oh. You mean that match?
Yes.
That pitiful
But
fucking match?
then when you think of their cages look like the fencing I would go by to put a chicken coop up in my backyard.
Your fences look like they were tied with zip ties, okay?
I think they were.
Dynasty
says blood and guts. I think that was it.
Taker and McFoley said, hi, we want to go to those cages.
It's like I can see it now. Taker sitting at home, flipping through the channel. What the fuck is this? What the fuck kind of cage is that? This motherfucker. Where's Vince? You mean to tell me 30 years ago I could have fallen through that? The fuck? Oh, wait, hold on. It's Mick. Yeah, no, I'm watching it too. He's on the other line. You got us both now. Fuck!
They do have pitiful cage matches.
Everything's pitiful.
Not everything.
Let me back up. Let me expand on that. If it's not a traditional wrestling match in the ring, all of their gimmick matches have been stupid. Do you really want to revisit Eddie Kingston covering John Moxley when the sparklers went off?
Or how about the Orange Cassidy Jericho match
in the orange juice? Yeah.
Or who was it who got ran over by the golf cart?
The Stadium Stampede? That wasn't a bad idea. Let's back up. That wasn't a horrible idea.
I'm just throwing shit out there at this point.
Then it was Sammy Guevara, by the way. But fuck, man. And then what match did they just do? It was like a Buried Alive match or something like that. Didn't they just do some kind of like coffin match with Darby?
Yeah, they done it. I don't know what the.
But it wasn't. It was like a rest in peace kind of match or whatever.
Yeah, they didn't want to call it a coffin match, even though it was a fucking coffin match.
Bite me. That was stupid too. Fuck.
We're gonna have this such and such match. Y'all know it as the coffin match, but we're gonna call it the stuffing match. Coffin and stuffing. I don't know.
Doug says, I think the way they are using Big Bill is a joke. Who the fuck is Big Bill?
I think that's Wardlow. I could be very wrong, but I think that's Wardlow.
Why the fuck is he called Big Bill?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Doug. Is that Wardlow or is that someone else? I'm like this close to thinking it's.
I don't think I was pissed when I read that Wardlow lost the title. He won the title on Sunday and lost it on Wednesday. I was fucking floored.
Well, they kept, Cutie kept his promise about helping Hobbs win a title.
Bullshit. Fuck you. I liked Hobbs. When Hobbs turned on Austin Theory 2.0,
Mm-hmm.
Ricky Stark. Yes, I looked at Ricky Stark the other day and thought it was Austin Theory.
Well, see, and here's the other thing, though. What I hated is you literally, the go-home show for Revolution, you had Hobbs win this ladder match, the face of the Revolution ladder match, and then say he's going to get the title match the following week. You have Wardlow win. You're like, so at first you're like, so now you're going to have Hobbs lose, who's got this momentum going. Because Wardlow just won his title, you're thinking there's no way in hell they're going to have Wardlow lose his title. And they somehow, they said, oh, well, Wardlow's losing the title. Did you not want Hobbs and Joe to go at it? Because you could have had Hobbs and Joe go at it.
That's what should have, all right, don't get me wrong. Wardlow, Joe had to happen. Right? And then Wardlow had to win. But you could have had it for the other titles. Oh, he's talking about Cass.
Oh, that's right. They call him Big Cass, Big Bill now. That's right.
That should tell you what I think about it.
And did you see the clips for this ladder match?
Which ladder match?
The Face of the Revolution ladder match, the end with Hobbs.
Is it going to piss me off?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about it.
So Hobbs gets to this ladder. He's trying to get up top of this ladder.
So wait, hold on. Set the stage for me. Ladder's in the ring.
Ladder's in the ring.
It's set up, ready to climb.
Set up. You got Hobbs climbing the ladder. This is the moment for winning. Two refs come hold the ladder in full camera view.
All right, so I did read about this.
Now you have Hobbs in order for Hobbs, because most people, they get to that top rung. They don't get on top of the ladder.
Right, they don't have to.
Get to that top rung.
Right.
No. Poor fucking Hobbs has to get on top of the ladder. Barely can get this bitch down. Stands up, and going, how the fuck am I getting down now? Because this ladder is too small for this big son of a bitch.
So, I did hear about this. I saw a little back and forth on Twitter about it. This actually doesn't make me mad that the refs came in the ring. Here's what makes me mad. That motherfucking mop head, black sweatshirt wearing douchebag is too cheap to buy bigger ladders or lower the fucking rung. So that makes me mad. But the referees sliding in and holding on, ensuring the safety of the competitor.
Yeah, because you can see the ladder shaking as he's trying to get to and that's my thing. And then Hobbs, because this ladder's too small, you can see this man. Everybody's thinking he's going to fall because of the way he's trying to get down off this ladder. It's already shaking. Refs are holding the bitch.
Right.
And, he gets down, but sweet baby Jesus. Like you said, the ring, the big giant fucking ring needs to come. There we go. John, yes, sir. Thank you. But lower it. Even WWE has the bitch lower to where you can just go.
But here's my point. The referee's job, before anything else, is to ensure safety of the competitors in the ring. If that means you have to slide in the ring and hold the ladder, then so fucking be it.
And then, hold on. Let's see.
John says, all in the span of 72 hours, you made us fans stop caring with that. Whatever AEW do with the Wardlow, again. Exactly. Thank you.
And then we have a new name for the AEW All-Atlantic Championship.
Oh, no. This got sent to me.
The AEW International Championship.
Yeah. It got sent to me.
Whose first title defense was against Jeff Jarrett, which Orange Cassidy retained. But
by the way, they're both American.
And apparently it got changed because TBS wanted it changed to coincide with Shazam! Fury of the fucking Gods. Which is why they're calling it the international title. I don't know what.
A movie that takes place in Philadelphia. The whole goddamn the final battle takes place in Citizens Bank fucking Park. The goddamn baseball. Damn it! And we said it from the beginning though with this fucking title. When they said it was the All Atlantic Championship and not a single person fighting for that title bordered the Atlantic Ocean, that's when I had a problem.
Well, now it's the international title because
not even that. Let me back up. We're talking about two companies who one doesn't border the Atlantic Ocean because it was during Forbidden Door when we won this title. Had this title show up.
I think so. Yeah.
It was New Japan. Pretty sure they're in the Pacific Ocean. And AEW, who I'm pretty sure is closer to the Gulf than they are in the Atlantic Ocean.
Well, it's not just that, but I think you had what's Pac from Australia?
Yeah.
Or was that Malachi Black?
Pac is from England, I believe.
That might be your closest you get to the Atlantic Ocean.
Yep.
But I'm just saying, I agree with you on that. So we have the international title in AEW, the Intercontinental title. But AEW is talking about defending it all over, defending it. And then, to your point, we have two Americans going at it for the AEW Intercontinental National Worldly title.
Doug says Jay Lethal's a great wrestler, but I think AEW doesn't know how to use him in the right way. Jay Lethal was a world champion.
AEW doesn't know how to utilize their superstars to begin with. Why do you think
AEW doesn't know how to open a door?
Sure. Why do you think people bitch backstage because I'm not getting enough time? Where's
Miro been? He was on TV, and all of a sudden, poof, he's not on TV. So there was actually a moment where, a couple months ago, right around Royal Rumble, there was a moment I thought Miro and Lana got divorced. Because Lana was with Damian Priest, Royal Rumble weekend, all this other stuff. And then it actually is what made me say, you know what? Wait, where is that motherfucker? Is he still alive? I do think, though, he is still injured. I think he came back, re-aggravated his injury, and I think he is injured and still on the shelf and has not been medically cleared, I think. So, fuck, God. Every time we talk about AEW,
it delves into pure chaos.
It just makes me so mad. It
makes you want to find Tony in the bathroom, ask him to move over so you can do a line with him.
No, not even that. No, because I think I'd beat him senseless. I get so mad that I don't want to talk about anything else we have scheduled.
Mm-hmm.
It turns me off to doing the rest of the show. We're gonna do the rest of the show. I mean, hell, we did one night. One night I said, "Fuck this, we're done."
Yep.
Oh my God, that was one night. Doug, you'll have to go back and watch it, Doug.
I think because we had both went on a fucking rant about some stupid shit Tony had done.
It was probably about 6 months ago, 7 months ago, and I had gotten so pissed off. I said, "You know what? Fuck the rest of the show. We're done." I think we were an hour in or something like that.
I don't even think we were an hour in.
Maybe not. I don't know. It pissed me off so much. But let's go on to the road to WrestleMania. Continue. We've talked about WrestleMania. There's not a lot else to pull from this week in wrestling, at least in my opinion, over the last 3 weeks.
They've just been making matches, announcing Hall of Fame.
Right. We've kind of touched on all the major stuff. Dynasty during the Punk stuff. Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think it was right after the suspension.
Oh, Brawl Out?
Yeah. Doug says, I heard AEW is trying to have another night on TV. Blow me.
They don't need another night. The ratings are already as poor as it is. Road to WrestleMania so far is looking interesting.
So the closer and closer we get to WrestleMania, the more and more excited I am. Hall of Fame class doesn't excite me right now. With Rey and the great Muta, well-deserved. 100% well-deserved.
I think the great Muta, his Hall of Fame induction, part of that was had to do with them getting Shinsuke for that match. I think
which is fine. Muta deserves it.
Yeah.
Right?
But supposedly, one of their next Hall of Famers to be locked, they had to finalize it, but apparently it's going to be fixing to be 100% locked in as to their women's induction this year.
Would you like to share with the rest of the fucking class?
Yes, I was getting there. Just being a little suspenseful, third.
Do better.
Stacey Keebler.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
And apparently Triple H is one. I don't know if it's Triple H or if it's WWE in general, but this year's Hall of Fame class is going to be a little small, like 5 or 6 people.
Fine. But Stacey?
Yep.
For what? Having the longest legs in the fucking industry?
I don't know.
For creating one of the best Vince McMahon memes on the planet 20 years before memes were relevant?
I mean, the Garcia twins are in the Hall of Fame.
They won titles. They had good storylines.
I was wondering if you get that one.
It broke me a minute because I don't know why we're gonna start calling ourselves the Garcia twins when we literally made our name off the Bella twins. You're not Dwayne.
Because they've officially left the WWE rebranding themselves.
You're not Dwayne. One of you's only married to somebody relevant. The other one's married to I don't know who the fuck he is.
The dancer
Sure.
from Dancing with the Stars.
I rest my case. That's a stream. That's a fucking Disney Plus only show now, boys and girls. Actually, why am I saying boys and girls? There's no girls that watch this shit.
We've had plenty.
We've had a few. There are.
But, yeah, no. I digress. How about that Brock Omos?
Fuck you, Dynasty. I'm not putting that up, but fuck you. Here. Fuck you. Fucker.
But how about that Brock Omos match?
How about Omos's fucking hand compared to Brock? Like that is the one thing that stuck out to me because the picture, like I got on Twitter, and that was the first fucking thing. John says, if you keep your guys, Ritz. You keep your hands behind your head any longer, then I'm going to expect a Val Venus impression. I'll throw a hip out. Plus, if I don't move my arms, I will lose circulation. But when I got on Twitter that night, it was the first fucking picture I saw was this dude's fucking frying pan next to Brock Lesnar's like sauce dish. Like fucking single egg frying pan. Like holy fuck.
Yeah. It's gonna be a hell of a match.
It's not gonna be a match. Don't call it a match. You and I both know it's not gonna be a match. It's gonna be Brock trying to throw this guy for a suplex. This guy saying no bitch. And literally grabbing Brock by the scruff of his neck and yeeting him into a corner.
It's going to be a 5-minute slugfest with Omos coming out on top.
It's going to be the longest 5 minutes of my life.
In my opinion, if it goes any more than 5 minutes, this match is going to get boring quick.
If this match ends with one of them winning clean, I will be surprised.
I think Brock would do the job to Omos.
Chrome says, what's up, boys? Great time at Battleground Wrestling in Philly tonight. That's right, he was there. I saw that on his Snapchat. Oh, man. That bit. I don't get this match, though. Like, we're not doing our preview. We're going to talk about it all more next week. This is just one match I just can't wrap my head around. I can't get excited for it.
So apparently, when it came to Brock,
but I'm also not like dreading watching it. There's a slight intrigue.
Well, even Undertaker's intrigued with Omos, thinking he should be showcased as a featured. I don't remember how you put it, but
Why? Because he's a big motherfucker?
Yep.
And this just goes... I don't love Undertaker. I love Undertaker. This just goes to show the mentality. Chrome says, the Brock Omos match is all about creating a great WrestleMania moment. Brock F-Fine Omos will be a highlight that can run forever. I get that. I absolutely do.
So Hogan Andre in modern times.
There is still a part of me. I know that's how it's going to end. At some point, Brock's going to F5 Omos.
Mm-hmm.
But short of Doug's comment with Brock taking a nut punching Omos, how the fuck did we get there? And please, God, tell me it's not longer than 5 minutes.
I don't see that match going longer than 5 minutes because I don't think Brock can carry almost any longer than 5 minutes.
I don't think. God damn it! Shit. It's like a train wreck in the best way possible because it's the one you want to watch. Chrome says they run the clip of him F5ing Big Show all the time. Omos is even bigger. No, again, you don't have to justify any of this to me. I get it. I just want to know how we get there. I accept, I understand, and I'm happy that that's going to be the end of the match. I think because if Brock doesn't win, then
Brock doesn't win, then this is more likely to be his last match in WWE for a hot minute.
I will be so visibly pissed off if Brock doesn't win.
Really?
Oh yes. Oh yes. But fuck, man, how do we get there? Because Omos is just like it's like watching Groot fight Drax.
It's the great Khali all over again.
God damn it. Fuck.
Except he just hasn't held this thing yet. He hasn't held the WWE Championship yet.
John says, besides Cody and Roman, what match are you most looking forward to? His is the triple threat IC title match.
That one's gonna be a banger.
It is.
Sure.
It is. It's gonna be a banger for sure.
How somebody's gonna follow that, I have no fucking clue.
That might be. I think Edge, Finn Balor inside Hell in a Cell will be good.
As much, I know this is probably gonna be a controversial one for me, but
What else is new?
Hey! But I really think Dominic Rey Mysterio.
If it gets announced, I do think that'll be really good. Chrome goes, I can't believe I'm with Butters on anything, but I agree. This will be like Hogan Andre. Brock struggles to break down Omos, but he gets that big moment in the WrestleMania moment. Again, guys. I'm with all of you. I side with all of you. But what nobody, I think, is ready for is how the fuck we get there. Brock's going to run into him and it's going to be like hitting a brick fucking wall. Because this guy doesn't know how to sell. Shit.
That's why they put him with AJ and then MVP. And
if MVP doesn't get involved and save this match, God fucking damn it.
MVP's taking the F5.
And I'm a little after the Austin Theory John Cena promo last week.
It's a good promo.
I loved it. I like brutally honest dickhead Cena.
Yeah.
I love it. But so yeah, that would.
And I like that he didn't give two shits about going, yeah, and I'm bald, so what?
But I am looking forward to ultimately KO Sami Usos. I think that tells a better story across the board. John says, Chrome, that's the WrestleMania moment no one ever wanted. And Chrome says, I want your thoughts, boys. Bray's injured and it looks like Lashley Bray is out. What do you do for Lashley for Mania now? I'd actually add him to the Gunther, Sheamus, Drew triple threat. So this was actually brought up earlier in the show. I think Doug brought it up. And I didn't think about adding him to the triple threat. I don't know if I would want that.
Nope. I know what you do.
So before you get there, because your answer is probably more well thought out than mine, my easy answer is he's just not on the card. You can't put him in a tag team and put him in the showcase. I think that's that he's not a tag team wrestler, right? I can't think of anybody that you put him against.
You open challenge that bitch. You have him come out and issue an open challenge, and you have somebody big.
I don't disagree with Chrome here. Chrome says, I think those four could have a banger, could steal the show. I don't disagree with you, right? I just, in my head, I don't see... I like the storyline they've built with this triple threat. I've liked how they've gotten us here. I feel like if you add Bobby, being he's the only Raw guy, I feel like it just doesn't fit.
I think.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Hold on, Chrome. Chrome says, "Oh, Andy, you have to have Lashley on the card." At worst, I could see him calling out Bray for being a bitch, and then Uncle Howdy comes out. Don't get me wrong. I want to see Lashley on the card, right? And borderline, I don't care what he does. But if you had to say put him in a match, I can't think of one. Is my problem. I can't think of one right now with where they took Bobby. They kind of had it all built around Bray, which was fine. And that's probably, honestly, that's probably the next best thing, especially if you want to continue this when Bray is
healthy again.
Depending on how long Bray's going to be out for. I don't remember. I don't have that in front of me. So that's probably the best case scenario for this because you haven't revealed anybody from the Wyatt Six. If it is going to be different people, Crow says, I'd cut your thumbs off to get a revised version of the Hurt Business with Omos, Lashley, Sheldon, Carmella. Oh, Carmelo. Sorry. I read Carmella. My head said Carmella.
No, I know where your head went.
And I went, how? No, stop it. But because we're clicking here, but I'm reading off here, and then just in the glance, I saw A instead of O. Wait, why the fuck my thumbs? Cut your own damn thumbs off. Fuck you. But no, I don't hate that either. Do you keep Trick Williams with him or MVP or both? But I like that. I like Omos, Lashley, Sheldon, Carmelo. And hell, you could probably... This is how you get Bobby in there. Bobby gets involved in a Brock Omos match.
Maybe. But I kind of have to agree with the Chrome here on the whole...
You guys feeling okay?
Yeah, I know, it's weird. But with the whole Bray Wyatt thing, have Uncle Howdy come out. Have him fight a Howdy.
Yeah.
You could have... Fuck it, you could have him unmask Howdy at WrestleMania.
I think I would love that.
You know, so...
Fantasy booking and storyline continuity. Lashley comes out and costs Brock against Omos. That's the start of the new... I was just saying the same thing. I think that would be great. And have Sheldon help Carmelo win.
Maybe.
No, I don't think Carmelo needs Trick. And take him, leave him. I don't care one way or the other if he has Trick with Williams with him or not.
If you put Carmelo in the Hurt Business, you leave Trick way the far out of there. You can leave Trick in NXT.
I think Trick goes away. I don't think he can do enough to hold his own by himself.
Nope. Yeah, see? Agree to that? Fuck. I agree to this comment.
And then John says, add Bronson Reed to Judgment Day. Judgment Day versus Hurt Business. John's really big on adding Bronson Reed to the Judgment Day, isn't he?
Right?
Chrome says Trick needs Carmelo more than Carmelo needs Trick. I don't disagree with any of that.
Yep.
This is weird. We're all agreeing tonight. I don't like it.
Is it April 1st yet? Because I'm ready to hear. Nope.
Oh, fuck. It is on April 1st.
What?
They're going to do something stupid.
Oh, that's right. Night 1's on April 1st.
Chrome says, although if you do a faction with Lashley, Omos, Carmelo, and Trick, that has the feels of a new evolution.
Past, present, and future?
Yeah. Keep MVP kind of, or not 4 horsemen, but almost 4 horsemen-ish if you keep MVP on.
4 horsemen meets the...
It'd be like a weird mesh between 4 horsemen and evolution.
No, well...
Well, hold on. Keeping MVP on in kind of like a J.J. Dillon role.
No. I'm thinking more Nation.
No, I don't think that fits. That doesn't fit there. Doug says, if Bray wasn't out of wrestling for now, I could see Ripley winning the belt and joining Bray and Uncle Howdy. No!
God, no.
Yeah, Chrome says the MVP is still the mouthpiece. Yeah, no, it's all...
He's not leaving the Judgment Day
No, not at all.
Soon.
Not at all. If anything, she runs the Judgment Day now.
Fucking ready.
Which I don't hate that. Again, I've said it. I like what Rhea and Dom are doing with Rey. I just don't like what Rhea's doing with Charlotte. So, you wanted to, and if more wrestling comments come in, we'll talk about them. We'll go into depth on them. But I know you had mentioned it twice to me over the last 2 days that you wanted to talk about this past weekend. You were at Conroe Comic-Con.
Yes, I would.
And you got to meet the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Before you tell us about that, Chrome says Rhea isn't joining Bray's faction when Alexa's already set to join. Rhea doesn't need Bray. She's above it. And that, I even forgot about Alexa because they haven't done anything with her very recently because of everything that's happening with Bray. Like, some stuff kind of slowed down a little. I totally forgot she was poised for it. So that in of itself. But I know you wanted to take some time. We are kind of running a little bit close to where I want to stop for the evening, at least time-wise. Like, I want to try to keep us around a certain time because it is late. But tell us about meeting the mouth of the South. Or tell them, because you told me already.
Yeah. First off, we need to give a shout-out to our girl.
Oh, yes. By the fucking way. And I meant to tweet about it because she deserves it.
She's been on the show once.
Twice.
Sorry.
When we did the Mission Pro Wrestling shows, we got her both times.
Yep.
Kylan King, she got signed to Impact. And then, like, the next fucking day, won the titles.
Won the women's tag team titles.
Yep.
With...
No idea.
No. But their tag team name is the Coven.
But I love it. So big shout out to Kylan King. She deserves it. And I've said it every time. I said it in front of her. I said it when we talked about it. She is one of the futures of women's pro wrestling. She's great in the ring. Her promos are good. Her social media is always good. Like, she knows what she's doing.
Yes, 100%.
Chrome says, unrelated, cool seeing the Nasty Boys tonight, but fuck, man, Knobs is practically crippled. Cool but sad at the same time. Who isn't from that era, though? I think, though, seeing the Nasty Boys would be pretty fucking cool.
Jimmy.
But tell about Jimmy. Tell me about Jimmy.
No, you were asking who isn't crippled. I said Jimmy.
He's crippled in the head.
No, but, Jimmy Hart, it was great seeing him. A great guy. Was able to get an autograph, photo op with him. And then I sat in on the panel.
Uh-oh.
So, at Comic Palooza, their panel was set up. They have.
It wasn't Comic Palooza.
Sorry, not Comic. Sorry, Comic Conroe. They had the stage. They had a couch for the guests to sit on with a microphone. Jimmy didn't want none of that. Jimmy literally grabbed a chair, sat in front of the crowd, with the crowd, said, we ain't doing the microphone, we're getting up close and personal. Love it. You know, not everybody's going to do the whole, I'm going to sit here, and you're going to be right here.
Right.
You know, I'm second row back. Jimmy's telling all these stories about coming up in the territory days.
Mm-hmm.
His first match, he actually wrestled a few times. he stood in for King his first match.
Okay.
He didn't have any gear. King gave him his gear. So he said, we're in King's Road. The rope was all the way to the ground, touching the ground, like 3 feet on the ground.
Grove says Jimmy Hart's a great dude. Doesn't surprise me at all. By the way, before we get too far off, because I'll forget if I don't say it right now, because it's top of my head.
You're good.
Big shout out to Chrome. Yesterday, he went on the air with Ken Anderson. They did a special, I think it was an hour, maybe a little bit more, interview with Ken Anderson. It's a great watch if you guys haven't gone back in our archives and watched it. So huge shout out to Chrome. It was an awesome interview. Fantastic job, my friend. All right, continue. I knew if I didn't say it as it was in my head by the time we got to the end of the show,
yes,
I'd have fucking forgot.
But he said, barring King's gear, King's boots, multiple sizes too big for him.
Oh, Christ.
King's singlet, his outfit, he said, kept slipping off. So he had to roll it over to the other side. Dressed nice and that looks like
Which, by the way, another shout out to Chrome. Those are called the lazies.
But he had to take the singlet and put it over on the other side. He said, which at that point was choking the shit out of him.
Oh, God.
But he ended up winning the match.
It's fucking mental.
Well, shenanigans going on.
Well, yeah.
But he's telling all these great stories, talking basically about how he hasn't, really had any problems because unlike some of these others, how they go out and party all night.
Yeah.
Get in the fights. He said he would always go back to the hotel and go to sleep. And he said he promised his mother 3 things. Wouldn't smoke, wouldn't drink, and wouldn't buy or ride a motorcycle. Said he never did any of those. Opened it up for questions.
Right.
At first, everybody's a little hesitant. He goes, any question. Nothing's off the table. Okay.
And now the dumb questions start.
Well, no. Surprisingly, we didn't get any dumb questions. One guy asked.
You can't be a judge for what's a dumb question, what's not a dumb question. I'm sorry.
One guy asked, advice for getting started in the business because that's what he was doing. Jimmy gave him a little advice, to stick out, be colorful, which is why he always wore the different, all the bright colors, different colored shirts.
Because Jimmy never met a camera he didn't like if you listen to Eric Bischoff.
This is true. But he said, one advice he was given when he was first on the air was to be colorful, stand out. And so that's the same advice he, given to everybody else.
Right.
Why not?
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
He was asked what was his favorite jacket. He said the one he was pretty much wearing at the time was the black one with the red hearts was one of his favorites. But he said a lot of his jackets he liked because it was mainly as an homage to whoever he was managing at the time. What?
Okay, you said nobody asked stupid questions. It's a good answer by Jimmy.
Right?
It's a dumb fucking question. What's your favorite jacket? Who the fuck cares what my favorite jacket is?
He talked about all the different multiple variations of jackets he's had over the years.
Lead with that next time.
Sorry.
Because I'm just picturing in my head. That's like somebody going to Flair randomly. Hey, what's your favorite robe? No context. No fucking context at all.
Sorry.
Just saw Hogan on the side of the street. Hey, Flair, what's your favorite robe? My back. We're on. What the fuck?
He was asked who was his favorite person to manage or team or
Yeah.
He said he liked all of them, like favorite, but he said one of the funny ones would be the Nasty Boys.
Conveniently enough.
Right? They would go out, do their thing. He'd go back to the hotel. They'd come back to the hotel. Oh man, you should have been there. What happened? He said they were crazy.
Right.
I actually asked him who, how did I word it? Who didn't he manage that he wished he could have managed?
Right.
Which the question, the answer was pretty much Andre. Because at the time, he was supposed to do a thing with Andre. Andre got injured. They couldn't do it. So he ended up managing, I think, Paul Rougeau at the time.
Okay.
But, I mean, overall, it was a great experience. I'd do it again, 100%.
Good.
Jimmy Hart, great person.
Good.
If you get a chance to meet him, please do, people.
And I'm excited to see, with Comic Palooza just a few months away,
The wrestling personalities?
We already know we get the Arrow, and I've got my photo up with Stephen Amell. And I plan on telling him he's my favorite celebrity involvement in professional wrestling history. But I want to see who we get. We always get a few.
Mm-hmm.
Always get a few.
Yep.
I'll be very interested to see. But that's going to be it for us tonight, guys. We're going to be back next week with our official WrestleMania preview show as we lead into our back-to-back live reaction show the week after. We're going to do night 1 and night 2 this year. We only did night 2 last year, and I kind of regretted it horribly. Chrome saying, Amel is phenomenal. Have you guys watched Heels on Showtime? I don't have Showtime, so no. I heard it's great, though. I've heard great things about it. I don't have Showtime. I don't have the time to sit down and watch it. But I've seen a couple clips from it. I've read about it because I like to sometimes just sit down and read about a TV show.
I mean, have been asked lately, you watch Bad Batch? You watch Mandalorian? Fuck, no, I ain't had time.
I am caught up on those. I'll watch those at work.
Fucking bastard.
Yep. But so next week, preview show. The week after, we're going to do live reaction shows. We've actually got a cool concept for our live reaction shows that we're going to do. We're going to not do them up here in the studio. We're going to be downstairs in the living room. Massive setup. Hopefully we can fill the couch. We've got a huge sectional downstairs. We're going to try to fill up the couch with all different types of people. Some people who watch wrestling.
I'll half of it by myself.
Go fuck yourself.
I said myself.
I know what you said. But we're going to have some people that watch wrestling, some people that have never watched wrestling before.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be an interesting live reaction show.
Is that a body slam? No, that's an elbow drop.
I just can't wait for them to react to somebody like Seth Rollins or Logan Paul or Brock Lesnar Omos, right? Some of these matches. So very, very excited for that. That's going to be huge for us. And then we'll have our post-WrestleMania recap show the week after that. And it'll probably be our standard week off. Because right after WrestleMania, because it's so much talking, we'll probably take that week off afterwards. So, guys, that is it for us tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. Doug, John, Chrome, Dynasty, Don, Pete, Tom, everybody. By the way, before we get out of here, he didn't pop in here tonight, but you're going to send this time code to him. So 1:49 on the dot. I want to give a big shout out to our man Jake Friel. It's on Instagram, his personal Instagram. So I'm going to say it. I might get yelled at for it later. Screw it, I don't care. Congratulations, buddy. Jake got engaged today. It's his birthday. Happy birthday. Congratulations on your engagement.
Congratulations, buddy.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today in remembrance of Jake's life. For now that he put a ring on it, our buddy is no more. We will not see him at the Sunday tailgates, nor will we see him at the Thanksgiving flag footballs. We will not see him at the basketball courts, nor will we see him in the group chats. For his days of playing games with the boys are dwindling. So, Jake, my friend, we hear it in this very ring. We salute you, sir. With that, we'll see y'all next week. Bye! No, in all seriousness, we want to thank Alan Z Travel for sponsoring tonight's show. Alan Z Travel specializes in creating vacation of your dreams at Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls you. Let their talented team of travel agents, including myself, create a custom vacation for you without any of the stress. Alan Z on over to alanz-travel.com/take the trip. To get in touch with myself, we do Disney, Universal, cruises, all-inclusives, you name it, international, we do it all. Again, big shout out to Jake. All jokes aside, very, very happy for you, buddy. We love you. We'll see you guys next week for our WrestleMania preview show. That's Butters. I'm Ritz. Until next time, guys, tell somebody you love them. Peace, love, and joy.